Movie buffs, welcome back to the Movie Bay. This is D. In today's video, we're going to do underrated, underappreciated films number 10. And without further ado, we're going to dive in and we're going to take a look at 2011's Brad Pitt and Sean Penn in Tree of Life. This is a really good movie. Also, this movie has been inducted into the Criterion Collection. This movie is basically a masterpiece. This is an absolute masterpiece. You got Brad Pitt, who's like an authoritarian parent, and sometimes that can have negative effects on you growing up. And Sean Penn, he grew up and he was just not right because of the way he was raised. But this isn't a sad it's got sad moments to it, but this isn't a movie that's like what you would call overly depressing. I don't want you to think that. When you watch this, just watch this with an open mind, and you'll see that this is a masterpiece. But yeah, Brad Pitt, he was a very overbearing, authoritarian parent, and it kind of messed his son up a little bit. Next up, we got 1992's Consenting Adults. Thou Shalt Not Cover Thy Neighbor's Wife. Kevin Kline, Kevin Spacey, Mary Elizabeth Mastriano. Banging ass movie. Check this one out. This is a great thriller. A great thriller. Next up, this is what I call... Okay, next up... No, we'll save that one. That's for the next one. Next up, we got one that got Mark Ruffalo, Anne Hathaway, Tim Robbins, and Bill Pullman. This is this is called Dark Waters with an S. Now, there's a horror movie called Dark Water, but this is Dark Waters with an S. And this movie is pretty much the same as A Civil Action with John Travolta. If you saw A Civil Action, you pretty much saw Dark Waters. But the acting in this was on point, just like in A Civil Action. But look at the cast in this. I mean, this was a phenomenal movie. I dug it. It was very entertaining. I love the story. It's basically, again, the same movie as A Civil Action. A small town water supply was contaminated by a big corporation, and it really had negative health effects on the people who lived there. It killed a lot of livestock, a lot of loss, a lot of litigation that was tied up for years. The main character pretty much lost everything, just like in A Civil Action. Banging ass movie. Check this one out. Mark Ruffalo stole the show in this one. And if you haven't saw A Civil Action, get that one too. Next up, we have, this is what I call a flash in the pan. A movie that came out and it was talked about for a hot second, and then it just kind of faded away. And this one is a fairly new movie, too. So that's why I call these flash in the pans, because it's still a new movie. 2021, Jason Statham's in Wrath of Man. This is a Guy Ritchie film. This is a fantastic movie. This actually should have went on my revenge movies, because this is probably one of the best revenge movies out there as well. So, yeah, this is a banging revenge movie, and I definitely didn't put it on there. I was looking for older movies, but this one here, this is good. Jason Statham is like this crime boss. His son was killed, not in front of him, but kind of like right in front of him, and he launched this elaborate scheme to get revenge, and the revenge took a nice little bit of time to pay off, but man, did it pay off. Great movie. Next up, we got a movie that I thought was just fun. The critics panned it. I thought it was a good, fun movie. This is definitely this is Hercules, but it's Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's version of Hercules. And when I see Ian McShane, I'm definitely on board. So you got Ian McShane also with The Rock and a host of others in Hercules. This is a fantastic little fun movie. I don't know why the critics hated on it so much. I thought it was a good, fun movie. I wasn't looking for A1 AAA acting or whatever the hell you want to call it, but this is 2014's Hercules with The Rock, and it's a fun movie. If you heard the critics panning and you wanted to stay away from it, I say go ahead and check it out. It's a good, fun watch. It's a fun version of Hercules. Next up, now this one right here, man, listen. Bryan Cranston, this one is 2015's. You got, man, look, Diane Lane, Helen Mirren, Louis C.K., John Goodman, Michael Schulberg, Trumbo. This is about Dalton Trumbo, who was like at one point the highest paid Hollywood screenwriter, and he was accused of being a communist back when that whole communist stupid shit was going on. But man, if you've never seen Trumbo, you need to check this one out. Buy this one. Don't stream this. Go out and buy this one. This is a fantastic movie. Bryan Cranston, he puts his foot in it this time, straight up. Trumbo, check this one out. It's about Dalton Trumbo, famous Hollywood screenwriter. Next up, we got 1998's Denzel Washington and Annette Bening in, also Tony Shalhoub, The Siege. With Bruce Willis. How could I forget Bruce Willis? This movie right here was banging. This was about terrorism. So this movie, I do believe, if I'm not mistaken, I think this came out after 9/11. So terrorism was at the front of everybody's mind. So that's what kind of heightened this movie. But if you watch it now, it's still good, but it's not as intense as it was when it first was released. But this is a banger. This is a fantastic movie right here. I'm not sure. Let's see. When did this one come out? I want to say this one came out, after 9/11. I could be wrong on that one. Let me know in the comment section if this was before or after, but this was a banging movie. Trust me, The Siege. And when you talk about Bruce Willis or Denzel, that really don't come up as much as it should. Next up, we got Sam Neill in 1994's In the Mouth of Madness. In the Mouth of Madness. This is a crazy psychological thriller. Sam Neill is trying to find a writer named Sutter Kane, but I'm not going to tell you anymore. I don't want to give this away. In the Mouth of Madness is a really good psych thriller. I'm trying to tell you, this is a psych thriller. Next up, we got the year 2000, Samuel Jackson and Tommy Lee Jones in Rules of Engagement. Rules of Engagement. This was a great military movie where Samuel Jackson was accused of something that he didn't do, and Tommy Lee Jones was like a washed-up military lawyer, and they worked together to crack the case. Banging movie. At the end of this, shocked the hell out of you. And here's one. This is an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. Far as Arnie movies go, this is definitely underrated. So you got Vanessa Williams, Arnold Schwarzenegger, and James Caan in 1996's Eraser. Banging movie, fantastic Arnold Schwarzenegger action movie. You'll like this one. It's a really good Arnie movie, especially an early Arnie movie. Well, that's 10 underrated, underappreciated movies. Let me know what you think. I'll see you in the next one.